Hello, 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 and welcome to Courageously Kind. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Liz. We're twin sisters and best friends.
Together, we share stories of especially kind humans doing especially kind things, in hopes that these conversations motivate and inspire you to be kinder to yourself and others. When we're not speaking with an incredible guest, we'll speak directly from our hearts about what it means to us to be courageously kind. So while we're recording this, it's July currently, and July is kind of an exciting month here at Courageously Kind.
It is. It is Disability Pride Month. I did not know we had Pride Month until like 2 weeks ago.
I didn't either.
It's crazy.
I think a lot of people are unaware that Disability Pride Month exists and that it's a thing. I think everybody at this point knows that June is LGBTQIA plus Pride Month, and that celebrates the nationwide legalization of same-sex marriage, which is cool. Disability Pride Month celebrates the anniversary of the American Disability Act, which was founded 31 years ago?
1990.
31.
Good math.
On July 26th.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun day. We'll celebrate that day. And Disability Pride Month was initiated in 2015. So it's sort of a relatively new thing. 6 years. But I've seen it, at least in my research, become more popular.
Yeah, it's getting more and more widely known, but I think we still have a long way to go. You know, big brands and big corporations haven't spoken up about it yet.
Exactly.
And haven't, showed any enthusiasm yet.
These corporations that were just priding themselves on inclusivity and equality and acceptance and diversity last month are failing to recognize July as Disability Pride Month and are failing to celebrate disabled people. Not really cool, corporations. It's probably just a lack of awareness.
Absolutely. I didn't know about it until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, me either. So we're sharing it with you, so you know about it. And so that going forward, it can be a big deal that it needs to be. There is a Disability Pride flag. Yeah. We love flags. I'll show a picture of it right here. And there's a whole lot of symbolism that goes on in that flag, which I thought was really cool. When I first saw the flag, I didn't realize what it all meant. And then when you explain it, it's good. Oh, okay. So the black parts of the flag represent the color of mourning, honoring those people lost to ableist violence, because that's a very real thing. Violence against disabled people is a very real and very scary thing. The stripes, there's a couple of things within the stripes. They're in this fun little zigzag pattern to symbolize the barriers and the challenges that people with disabilities face in our world today. Lack of accessibility issues, things like that.
Creative way to show that, that pattern.
Yeah.
It's not as straightforward. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Really creative.
Me too. I read that and went, oh, interesting. Just goes to show you that there's symbolism in so many different things. I think the flag was created in 2015.
Yeah, it's a pretty new.
It's a pretty new thing. And there was actually, I need to do some more research on this, but Wikipedia had another Disability Pride flag listed that was older, but I think it was for a specific event. I don't think it was like as widely known. I need to do some more research into that. Yeah. I'm not sure. But it looks different than that. So the stripes are located somewhat closely together to represent unity between the disabled community. The disabled community is extremely diverse. I think more diverse than we realize sometimes.
And that has to do with, lack of
representation, exposure to people with different types of disabilities. The different colored stripes represent different types of experiences that disabled people can have. So I don't know the exact, which colors, I just dropped my notebook. I don't know which colors exactly represent what, and I thought I had it written down, but I can't find it. I know it's like mental illness is represented, invisible and undiagnosed illness and disability is represented, intellectual and developmental disability, physical disability, and sensory disabilities. I think I got them all.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. I was racking my brain. I just typed them out for our Instagram, but I was racking my brain to try to remember them. So I think we do forget how diverse the disabled community is, which sort of leads us to our next point when talking about the American Disability Act and the lack of diversity that our legislation here in America has. I can't speak for other countries because I don't know about other countries, and I really can't speak a whole lot to America because I haven't done as much research as I should about the American Disability Act. However, currently, and I believe this is common around the world as well, people with facial differences are protected under the Disability Act, the American Disability Act at least, under the, I don't know what the word is, definition maybe of disfigurement. So disfigurement, the word itself kind of has some negative connotations to it. What is disfigured? You know, what is figured? Like, what is that? But people with facial differences are protected under that clause. They're sort of lumped in with the Disability Act. Not everyone with a facial difference considers himself to be disabled. I think that's like a person-to-person basis. Yeah. Liz can speak a little bit about that if you want. But
sure. We never used the term disabled growing up. I didn't think it was fair. I have a facial difference, but I didn't think it was fair to call myself disabled and speak on behalf of people with very different experiences than I have. I just didn't think that was fair or right. But, you know, as you were saying, facially different people are categorized as people with disfigurements, which is then categorized as within disabilities.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of diversity with disabilities, like you were saying. And it's a really broad term. But now more than ever, I see people are reclaiming the word disabled as not a bad word. You know, I think we've heard, you know, special needs are differently abled. But now more than ever, you know, people are just saying, I'm disabled, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Disabled is not a bad word.
Yeah.
Disfigurement, I don't think it's a bad word. You know, we make these things bad words, but we have the power to then make them good words.
Absolutely.
You know, I think we have more power than we think we do when it comes to, you know, breaking down stereotypes and, you know, moving past assumptions. I think a lot of people, maybe, we talked about this with Smile, Don't Stare. Go check out that episode if you haven't.
That was a good one. I'm proud of that one.
I love that one. People make an assumption, and then they feel bad about that assumption, so they just kind of retreat and, like,
yeah,
and not follow that up with kindness. And, you know, like, disabled people are people. They're humans. They're just like you and I. And too many people are shy or uncomfortable, and they don't use that courage that they already have. You have the courage to be kind. Can you use some editing thing where it's like, courage to be kind?
Yeah.
Trademark. Like, you have the power and the courage in you. You just gotta use it.
Gotta cultivate it.
Yeah.
I have this quote written down that I wanted to share.
Yes.
A dramatic reading.
You need little glasses.
It's me putting my glasses on. Okay. It says, and I don't know who said this quote. I heard it in a message from Face Quality International CEO Philda Swift, but I'm not sure who exactly said it first.
So you're passing it.
I'm passing this along. The quote says, We are disabled by barriers of a society, not by impairment or difference. So,
I love that.
The problem isn't disabled people. The problem is lack of accessibility.
Yeah. And what I think you talked about before of, like, who is setting standards of, like, normal.
Exactly.
I can't remember what episode that was. But
we've talked about it sometime before.
Like, we have the power to change, the societal norms and the barriers that we think prevent us from inclusivity and accurate representation. We all have the power to change that.
Exactly. We are who is setting these standards here. We can choose to reject these standards that are unattainable or, don't look like real people. We have a whole episode about this, but it's something we're passionate about.
Very.
And we hope you are too.
Yeah.
All right, so happy Disability Pride Month.
Yes.
Any questions? Send them our way and we'll try to answer them.
As
always, how are you celebrating Disability Pride Month?
Ooh.
Let us know in the comments.
Love that.
And have an awesome week.
We'll see you back here
real soon. Bye.
We'd like to give a huge thank you to Anna Waltz Landscape Contracting for their support of Courageously Kind.
Anna Waltz is a family-owned landscape contracting company in Berks County that has served Pennsylvania for over 35 years.
If you're ready to get your landscaping project started, visit annawaltzlandscape.com or call 610-916-7070.
Anna Waltz Landscape Contracting, beautifying Pennsylvania 1 yard at a time.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, feel free to share it with your friends, your family, or anyone you think might like it too.
And if you want to support the show, leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It really does help. Or check out our merch store at courageouslykind.org. Take good care, and we'll see you back here real soon.